Greetings one and all, and welcome back to the Awaken to Ascend YouTube channel. This video is going to be a little out there because I'm about to share a spiritual concept that no one is talking about because it's a very high spiritual concept. It's something most people have not realized yet. And I realize it's going to sound a little crazy, and I might look a little crazy, but don't shoot the messenger, okay? Just hear me out on this one, and we'll get through this, okay? I'm going to make a statement here. Food is poison. Now, I don't mean there's poison in the food. I'm saying the act of eating food is poisoning our souls. So, okay, let me explain. Okay, I know what you're thinking. This is crazy talk. Let me explain. Well, let me explain what I believe to be the nature of reality. I believe we are in one of infinite universes. This universe has 13 vibrational frequencies, and there's universal law. And the biggest universal law in our particular universe is that you cannot violate free will. Every being has their own free will, and you are not allowed to violate it. Now, you can manipulate, you can coerce, you can convince people to give up their own free will and do what you want them to do, but you can't make them. What happens if you violate this law, and I believe a lot of souls violate it on purpose, if you violate this law, in this universe, you get kicked down to 3D. You come to this black cube matrix that we are in right now. And you could see it as a school, like you committed a violation, now you got to go learn about your mistake. You could see it as a prison, you committed a violation, now you got to go pay for your mistake. I believe the truth is both. This is a school and a prison, whichever way you want to look at it. You can look at both. And we have to come here to learn about our free will violation. Now, when we come here, if you look at it from the prison perspective, we're in a prison, and we're allowed to violate free will in this matrix because we need to learn about free will violating, okay? So, like, imagine a real prison. What happens if a prisoner in prison stabs somebody? They don't go to prison. They're already in prison, right? There's no downward place for them to go. So what happens? They spend more time in prison. So I believe that the more free will violations that you commit while in this cube matrix, the longer you're going to stay here, the more you're going to reincarnate, the more you're going to be caught in this loop committing the same atrocities against yourself until you learn the lesson that that's not a good idea. And that is Ascension, folks. I believe when you stop committing free will violations and learn the lesson of your own free will violation, then you get to ascend out of here. So how does food come into play? Well, let me ask you this. Do you think that cow wants to be born on a ranch, live in a cage, eat hormones, right? In close quarters conditions, very unhuman, uncow conditions, unbovine-like conditions, okay? And then eventually, have its kids taken away from it, have its udders pumped, and eventually killed for meat. And then you go have your Whopper and it's delicious. That cow's free will was violated all up and down. All up and down. It doesn't want to live that life. It came here to learn, to grow, to expand, just like you and I. It came here to have a family and learn what it's like to be a mother or a father, a brother, an aunt, an uncle. It wanted to live a life of love and freedom, but some human violated its free will. And if you ate that hamburger, you violated its free will. That energy doesn't go anywhere. It's there in the meat. Now, this doesn't just apply to animals. Vegans are violating free will every time they eat food. You think that carrot wanted to get plucked out of the ground? No, it wanted to hang out with all its little carrot friends, okay? I probably shouldn't do that. Anyway, what the hell am I doing? No, it wanted to stay in the ground and live a peaceful life in the dirt and grow and expand just like you want to do. But you plunked it out and you ate it. So we're violating free will with every single bite of food that we eat. Every single bite. Now, there's occasions where, you talk to your plants, You talk to your animals and they willingly give up their life for you so that you can grow because they are full of love. This does occur. And I wouldn't say that's a violation. But how often does that actually happen? How many times do you connect with your food before you destroy it? Before you suck it dry? And then a lot of people believe, oh, I can just transmute this energy before I eat it. And that might be true to some degree, but at some point that animal's free will was still violated. You can't just ask for forgiveness after the fact. You're still contributing to this free will violation. So you're probably asking yourself, well, why would it be set up this way? Well, I'll tell you. Our controllers are 4D entities. And I don't like to use the word controllers. They're just tasked with guiding this matrix, okay? And they're caught in this cube as well. They're stuck here just the same as we are. These are reptiles, these are greys, these are mantids, these are arachnids, you name it. These are all lower astrals that are all trapped in this cube with us because they have committed free will violations. Now, since they're in the fourth realm, they're 4D entities, they have more power over us, you know, super air quotes on that one. They have more power over us, so they can dictate how this cube matrix works. They set the programs. Now, what are these entities? These are lower polarity, service to self, vampiric entities. What they're doing in this cube matrix is sucking us for our negative vibrations. They're trying to put us into negative polarity, negative energy, because that is their food. Negative energy is their food. As dark as that sounds, okay? And they create war, they create violence, pestilence, whatever they need to create to get us in a lower state so they have more food. They're vampires. They are not connected with their higher selves, and so they believe that they have to seek energy outside of themselves. They don't realize that they can exist on their own source energy, but they don't know that they're source. They've moved away from that. So they think they have to search outside themselves for energy. So if they're in charge of this matrix, aren't they going to put us into a lower vibration? Why wouldn't they make us in their image so that we commit violations that they're committing? So they make this ego program tell you that you need food to survive. And we believe it so strongly that it's true. We do need food to survive because we believe it. And so we have been convinced against our will, but without our free will being violated, they just convinced us that we need to be vampires too. We need to suck life force from outside of us too. And in this way, we're continually committing free will violations. We're continually staying in this prison, right? There's no other place to send us. It just extends our sentence. Again, it's a school too. Don't get caught up in the whole prison school thing. I'm just trying to make a point here. So, where does that leave us? If you stopped eating, you would just die eventually, right? Because that's the ego program. It's so strong, it's so ingrained that our survival depends on it. But that's also illusion. We don't need to vampirically exist on animals. The reality is that you are infinite source energy. What if you could tap into your own infinite energy and survive off of that? What if you could use that as energy? If you're using your own energy, how is that a violation? You're not vampirically taking from anybody or anything. You're giving to yourself. And so I might talk about this more in a future video. I'm still working it out. I still eat food. I understand that I'm committing a violation every time I do it. But I also eat source. Every morning I eat source. Eat is not the best word to use, but it's the best I can think of. I don't eat it. I am it, and I allow it to fuel me. Now, I still have ego, so that food program's still working in the background. I still eat food, but I minimize my free will violation as much as I possibly can. I try to exist on source as long as I can throughout the day. I usually make it till 3, 4, or dinner when I have a small meal or a small snack. And I just drink lots of water, which is also a free will violation, but I'm not there yet, okay? But the point of it is that we're not perfect, but we have to realize that we can't keep doing what we're doing. If you want to ascend, if you want to stay here, I mean, go eat whatever you want to eat. But if your goal is ascension, we have to realize that you committed a free will violation to get here. The more free will violations you do here, the longer you stay. So let's stop doing free will violations. What a concept. Who would have thought? So yeah, I try to eat less and less food every day. Some days, you're sad and you just want to soothe yourself with some 3D thing. I get it. But other days you're just like, food, why do I need that? When you're such a high vibration, you just forget to eat. Not because you're distracted, but because you don't need that 3D soothing that food provides. So yes, I realize this is a crazy concept and I look a little crazy saying it. And I realize that no one else is really talking about this, but I want to say this without ego if I can. I don't want to brag or anything, but my consciousness is up here, right? So I've been exposed to this idea, and I accept this idea, and I'm sharing this idea with you. And you may not understand it, and you may not agree with it, but it's something to think about. At the very least, just think about it. I guess by being here, it shows you're willing to think about it. So I want to thank you guys for being here. Please check out my website, awakentoascend.com. I'm really proud of the blogs that I do. The blogs that I do there are really fun and exciting for me. I mean, I might say they're more fun than these videos. For me, to make at least. I don't know. I like to write. So go check that out, please. And I update it regularly. I'm always putting out more blogs. And they're so digestible. They're like little things. You can eat them, but no free will is violated. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Leave comments, please, and like and subscribe and all those things. So thank you for watching. I love you all. Stop violating. Bye, guys.